Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the life of a true American icon, a man who was so much more than just a face on the $100 bill. We're talking about the one and only Benjamin Franklin. Was he a scientist, an inventor, a diplomat, a writer? The answer is yes to all of the above, and then some. This guy was a true Renaissance man, a polymath whose fingerprints are all over the foundation of the United States. So, grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's explore the incredible story of Benjamin Franklin. Born in Boston in 1706, Franklin was the 15th of 17 children. His formal education ended when he was just 10 years old. 10, can you imagine? But that didn't stop him. He was a voracious reader, devouring every book he could get his hands on. At 12, he became an apprentice to his brother James, a printer. It was here that his love for the written word truly blossomed. Under the pseudonym Silence Dogood, a witty and observant middle-aged widow, the teenage Franklin wrote a series of letters that were published in his brother's newspaper. They became incredibly popular, with readers eagerly awaiting each new installment. Completely unaware they were written by a young apprentice, this early experience showed his sharp wit and his knack for connecting with an audience, skills that would serve him well throughout his life. But Franklin's ambition was too big for his brother's print shop. At 17, he ran away to Philadelphia, a city that would become his home and the canvas for his genius. He arrived with just a few coins in his pocket, famously buying 3 puffy rolls of bread and walking down the street eating one with the other 2 tucked under his arms. It was a humble beginning for a man who would go on to shape the city's future. He quickly established himself as a successful printer and publisher, launching the Pennsylvania Gazette and the famous Poor Richard's Almanac. The almanac filled with proverbs and witty sayings like, "A penny saved is a penny earned," and "Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise," became a bestseller, making Franklin a household name throughout the colonies. But Franklin wasn't just about business. He was a passionate civic leader, a man who believed in improving the world around him. Think about the things we take for granted today: a public library. Franklin started the first subscription library in America, a fire department. He organized Philadelphia's first volunteer fire company, a public hospital. He co-founded the Pennsylvania Hospital, a university. He was the driving force behind the academy that would become the University of Pennsylvania. He was a community organizer extraordinaire, constantly looking for practical solutions to everyday problems. He even tackled issues like street paving and lighting. Franklin saw a need, and he didn't wait for someone else to fix it. He rolled up his sleeves and got it done. And then there's the science. Franklin's curiosity was boundless. He was fascinated by the natural world, from weather patterns to the mysteries of electricity. Everyone knows the story of the kite and the key, right? In one of the most famous experiments in history, he flew a kite during a thunderstorm to prove that lightning was a form of electricity. This wasn't just a party trick. It was a groundbreaking discovery that led to a very practical invention: the lightning rod. This simple device has saved countless buildings from fire and destruction. He also invented the Franklin stove, a more efficient heating device, and bifocal glasses, so people wouldn't have to switch between glasses for reading and for distance. He never patented any of his inventions, believing they should be freely available for the public good. He wrote, "As we enjoy great advantages from the inventions of others, we should be glad of an opportunity to serve others by any invention of ours." What a remarkable philosophy! As tensions with Great Britain began to escalate, Franklin's role shifted from citizen and scientist to statesman and diplomat. He spent many years in London, acting as an agent for several colonies, arguing for American rights within the British Empire. He was a masterful negotiator, using his charm, wit, and intellect to make the American case. But when the Crown refused to budge on issues like taxation without representation, Franklin's loyalty shifted. He returned to Philadelphia in 1775, just as the first shots of the American Revolution were fired. At age 70, when most men would be looking at retirement, Franklin embraced the cause of independence with the energy of a man half his age. He was immediately elected to the Second Continental Congress and was appointed to the Committee of Five, tasked with drafting the Declaration of Independence. While Thomas Jefferson was the primary author, Franklin provided crucial edits and wisdom, famously telling his fellow delegates as they prepared to sign the document, "We must, indeed, all hang together, or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately." His words captured the gravity of the moment perfectly. They were committing treason, and failure was not an option. Perhaps Franklin's greatest contribution to the American cause came during his time as the American ambassador to France. The fledgling United States desperately needed allies and financial support to win the war against the mighty British Empire. Franklin, already a celebrity in Paris for his scientific achievements, became the toast of the town. He played the part of the rustic, wise American philosopher to perfection, charming the French court and the public alike. His diplomatic genius was on full display. He skillfully negotiated the 1778 Treaty of Alliance, which brought the French military and navy into the war on the American side. This alliance was the turning point of the Revolution. Without Franklin's work in Paris, the outcome of the war could have been very different. After the war, Franklin returned home a hero, but his work wasn't done. At 81, he was the oldest delegate at the Constitutional Convention in 1787. Frail and in poor health, he didn't speak often, but when he did, everyone listened. He was the voice of compromise and wisdom, urging the contentious delegates to set aside their differences for the good of the new nation. On the final day of the convention, as the members signed the newly drafted Constitution, Franklin pointed to the sun carved on the back of George Washington's chair. He remarked that artists often found it difficult to distinguish a rising sun from a setting sun in their paintings. "I have," he said, often in the course of the session, "looked at that behind the president without being able to tell whether it was rising or setting. But now at length I have the happiness to know that it is a rising and not a setting sun." It was a beautiful, optimistic metaphor for the dawn of a new republic. Benjamin Franklin passed away in 1790 at the age of 84. 20,000 people attended his funeral, a testament to the love and respect he had earned. He was a printer, an author, a postmaster, a scientist, an inventor, a diplomat, and a founding father. He was the only person to sign all four of the key documents that established the United States: the Declaration of Independence, the Treaty of Alliance with France, the Treaty of Paris, which ended the war, and the U.S. Constitution. He was a self-made man who embodied the American dream before it even had a name. His life is a powerful lesson in the importance of lifelong learning, civic duty, and relentless curiosity. He truly was the first American, a man whose legacy is not just etched in stone monuments, but is woven into the very fabric of the nation he helped create. Thanks so much for watching. What part of Franklin's life do you find most fascinating? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into history, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the people who shaped our world. See you in the next video.